Welcome to Drawing Conclusions. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Josh.
Today we're reviewing Star Wars: The Last Jedi, the 8th episode in the Skywalker saga. The Last Jedi was written and directed by Rian Johnson and stars Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, Oscar Isaac, John Boyega, and a whole bunch of other great stars. Consult your IMDb listing. Before we begin our review of The Last Jedi, we should put it out on the table that we're pretty big Star Wars fans, especially Josh. The original Star Wars is Josh's all-time favorite film, and we are one of those families that we celebrate Star Wars Day. We're not as far out there as some fans, but we do really love these movies and the galaxy in which they take place.
The Last Jedi picks up where The Force Awakens left off. The First Order, despite suffering the loss of Starkiller Base, continues its march towards total galactic domination and seeks to squash the small band of resistance fighters that stand in its way. Rey has found the hermit Luke Skywalker to ask his assistance in saving the galaxy. There is so much pressure on a movie this huge that is part of such an expansive and popular franchise. The Last Jedi doesn't disappoint. The movie kicks off with an exciting high-stakes scene and continues to be engaging throughout its 2.5-hour run. It's a well-crafted story that further develops existing characters and introduces interesting new ones. It is also unexpected and unpredictable, which I loved.
Yeah, there really were a lot of surprising moments in the movie, and the story really didn't go where I was expecting it to. You know, there are always a lot of fan theories flying around about movies like this, and none of the ones that I saw ended up being accurate. But the movie still fits in perfectly with the mythology of the previous films, and the actions of the characters all made sense based on who they are and the circumstances they found themselves in.
Right. While this fits in well with, and in some ways harkens back to other Star Wars films, it definitely is not a rehash of a previous outing. This is not Empire Strikes Back 2.0.
No, definitely not.
There were also a lot of details in the film that I think I missed in the first viewing, and I will definitely need to watch it multiple times to pick up on everything I missed.
You know, one of the things that I enjoyed the most was watching the character arcs of Rey, Kylo Ren, Luke, Poe, and Finn. I think that each of them take a journey in the film that really adds a lot of depth to their characters and that helps the audience understand them and their motivations better. And, you know, I thought that the performances, too, were pretty good throughout the movie. Mark Hamill is getting a lot of praise for his work in this, and I think that's well-deserved. But I also think Adam Driver's performance really was great. It adds a lot of dimension to Kylo Ren. At times he's sympathetic, broken, vulnerable, and at other times he's terrifying, either because he's unhinged or calculating. I think Driver does an excellent job with this complex character. Josh, what did you think about the new characters introduced in the movie?
I thought all of their performances were good. Rose's backstory, to me, was particularly compelling and interesting. And I liked the background and her experiences and perspective. And they're important in helping Finn in his character growth. Laura Dern's character, however, Admiral Holdo, to me felt more like a plot device than a character.
I liked what they did with her.
Yeah, she just felt less developed than the other characters. However, I thought Benicio del Toro's character was interesting, and his performance was really excellent. And I hope we will see more of him in the future, and I think it would be a waste of a character not to bring him back. Also, it was nice to see Maz Kanata for a few minutes in the movie as well.
You know, there were some things that they did with the characters in this movie that I didn't like. The Last Jedi disturbs a few things that were set up in The Force Awakens, and that really left a bad taste in my mouth. I know that you didn't feel the same way, Josh, but there are some particulars of the story that I'm a little bit more invested in than you are, and that this kind of messes up, so that was hard for me. The only other complaint I have with this movie is that it felt a little long to me. I don't know how much of that was influenced by the fact that I was sick when I saw the movie, so when I see it again, I might feel differently.
It didn't feel long to me at all. The flow of the story felt natural and organic. I enjoyed the new worlds and creatures as well. One of the things I love most about the Star Wars movies is the imagination and artistry that goes into the design of everything that you see in the film.
You know, the Porgs have been getting a lot of attention as the cute new creatures in the film, but there actually are several new creatures and some new alien species introduced in the movie, and they're all pretty cool. And, you know, there's one particular location that they visit in the movie that there's not a lot of, there hasn't really been any press or preview of. That's a pretty cool location. Something different than you've seen in a Star Wars film before. I really liked that. And there are some other things that I really liked about this movie, but I can't talk about them in a no spoilers review.
Right. We've talked about a lot of things together that we can't mention here.
So maybe we'll have to do some kind of analysis video later on when people have had more of a chance to see it.
Overall, I love this movie, and I think Star Wars fans will be happy with what Rian Johnson has done. I give this movie 5 Force chokes.
Nice. I enjoyed the movie as well, but I don't think I loved it quite as much as you did. I've heard some people saying that this is better than The Empire Strikes Back, but for me, it didn't reach that level of excellence. The Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars movie. That being said, I am looking forward to seeing it again and to seeing what comes next in Episode 9. This movie also gives me high hopes for what Rian Johnson will do with the new trilogy he's working on.
Right. I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. Thank you for joining us for a review of The Last Jedi. We hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, may the Force be with you.